Okay. Hi guys, it's Paul Duncan here and welcome to another episode of a free group coaching on a Monday. So welcome to all our new people today. I've got a couple of people from overseas, so welcome. I know I've got a couple from the UK, so that's the middle of the night there. So yeah, look, thanks for joining us today. I thought I'd just go through a bit of a presentation I did a few weeks ago because a few people have asked if I can replay that through again because it's called the 11 Secrets to Get You Through the Coronavirus. And a few of my clients have sort of fed back on my Facebook page and a few other sort of social media pages saying that they've put a couple of these strategies and secrets in place and they're getting a little bit of traction for it. So I thought I'd just run through it again because I didn't record it last time. So I am now starting to record all these from the last pretty much 4 to 5 weeks. So I'm getting them all archived on a page. So I'll, as I send the recordings out to you guys, I'll put the link to the archives there as well if you want to go back on a few of the other ones prior today. So guys, this is about 11 secrets to getting you through the coronavirus. It's what I've put together for a couple of my clients, so I thought I would just share that with you on one of these sessions. So welcome to all the people. The first thing is a little bit about me. So I'm a business advisor for the business station here in Perth, WA. I've been doing pretty much local and marketing coaching for the last 5 to 6 years, and I've been running a coaching company for the last 17 years. I'm a small business owner and entrepreneur. I own 3 businesses at the moment, so this is only one of them, the coaching marketing business. Also, I own a floral design company, and I've just bought another florist, fresh florist company in the last pretty much 2 months, where people have, or the person's just been going out of business because of the coronavirus and was looking at selling up. So I've just bought that. My wife is running those at the moment. I'm also a franchise and multi-site franchisor. So I'm invested in a couple of franchises in the eastern states as well, which are just pretty much run under management. So I own the franchise as a franchisee and we've put it in management. I'm also a corporate and small business group member, which means that I'm associated with 800 corporate and small businesses people around the world, where we share on one platform, one pretty much social site that we share ideas. So it gives me an idea on a global scale of what's happening. I have still found out that Australia is probably about 2 to 3 years behind a lot of the new technologies that's coming out. So I'm trying to, 2020 is one of my visions to actually put that into small businesses' minds and their hands right here. So as technology comes out on a global scale, I have access to that. So I'm trying to keep one step ahead of what's happening out there. So, as I said before, I've had been 15 years in business development and growth. I've owned 16 different businesses, right from hospitality and catering, which is my background. I'm a qualified chef by trade, but I've also owned fencing contracting businesses, key cutting businesses, as I said, floral and floral design company businesses, plus fresh florist retail stores as well. So a bit of experience behind it. So let's get into the learnings. Well, there's 2 things you need to consider, right, when you're looking at marketing your business. So the first one is what is your marketplace position? So, where are you placed in the market? It's very, very important because, you don't want to be going out there in a marketplace and you're not positioning right. Now, you want to be positioned as a leader, you want to position as an authority. But more than anything, you need to have a look at your competition, because if you're doing everything like your competition, right, then what will happen is that you're actually competing in your market from a price conscious point of view. So you don't want to be on a price conscious sort of market. So all my clients, I try to push them through in finding out that uniqueness, how they fit into the market, but looking at their competition, what they can do differently, how they do it differently, and that's where your marketing comes into it. So there's two ways to compete. As I said, there's price, but what we want to try to do is to try and look at the customer experience. So that buyer's journey, that customer experience, that sales journey, right? Because the people that are going to buy from you, your product or your service, or actually interact with you, what they want is they want a customer experience, and they're prepared to pay a little bit more for that uniqueness, or what makes you different from everybody else. Okay, but what I find is about 95–96% of businesses, they're marketing on price out there. So especially around the retail, I have a lot of retail clients on my client base, and they're very, very price conscious. So we try to pull away from that price marketing to the customer experience. So take them through that customer journey, that experience, that wow factor. Because once you start communicating that in your marketing, you'll start attracting the people that aren't price conscious. So I get a lot of comments back from my clients saying, no, look, I'm in a price-conscious market, especially around, I've got a few cafes and restaurants that are struggling at the moment. I'm taking them through a little bit of a journey now of when we do reopen, a lot of the things are getting relaxed now, so a lot of your hotels, your restaurants, your cafes are going to start opening. Yes, there is some restrictions, but I'm taking them through that process of how they transition into it. And they've got into their mind about the price conscious. I've got to go out there because a lot of my competition are going to open. They're going to be very, very price. So it's a prime time now that when you do open, or when you start marketing out there again, when things start getting a little bit more busier, right, is to look at the customer experience, put in that sales journey. How are you going to take that person through right from when you first meet them, or when that transaction happens, and when that follow-up afterwards? How are you going to keep rapport from them? So what's more important? Emotional needs or functional needs? Now, I asked this question as one of my my questions when I start doing a bit of an audit on people's businesses before I get them on as a client. Okay, and I ask them this question: what's more important? And a lot of them say is their functional needs. Okay, so you know what I mean, which people say, are these separate needs? Well, yes, they are. Right, their emotional needs are different from their functional needs. So why do we bother with pretty much emotional needs? Well, it's about the buying decision, more about sort of the why people buy things. I've struggled in the last pretty much 5 years on understanding why people buy certain products, what's their decision making process. So I've got a little bit of a formula down on 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 why people go through that buyer's journey. Okay, so if you've followed me, or if you've seen a couple of my posts in the last month or so, I've had a big emphasis on pretty much the buyer's journey. What makes people buy a certain product, and that step-by-step stuff. So if we talk about the emotional needs, right, on people's buying habits, right, it's 80% emotional and 20% logic. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, when they're going through that buying decision, right, they're actually looking at how they feel about their product and service, how they're feeling about the person that's helping them through that journey. So, you've got to look at that 80% emotional side of it rather than the 20%, which is logical. But when businesses market their product, when they interact with their customers, their prospects, and trying to get that sale through, it's all about the logic. But when you're looking at the customer's point of view, right, they're looking at emotions, right, how they feel about the product. So I'll give you an example. I've just bought a smart TV for my daughter. And when we went out to buy it, the salesperson came up and was just it was all about logic. It was all about the the features of the television. It can do this, it can do that. You need this, you need that. Where the emotions are the benefits, right? I mean, and that's what we were looking at, how we felt about it. I mean, yes, it had a big screen, had great visuals on it, right? It did have some good things for my daughter because she's doing a uni degree at the moment, so she needed a smart TV to get onto a lot of the online stuff that she got. That's why she went out there. But this guy didn't hit our emotional buttons at all. It was all about logical. It was about the salesperson. He was just like a car salesperson telling me all about the features of it rather than the benefits, what's it going to do to us. So guys, you've got to look at the emotion side of it. Okay, so let's get into the 11 secrets. So the first one is we need to be focusing on helping instead of selling. So what does that mean? Well, you shouldn't be trying to force people to purchase your product or service, because the harder you push, the further you're going to push them away from you, right? You need to find people that want your product and services and focus on giving them helpful information. Okay. Now, if you saw a post about 2 weeks ago when I spoke about the best ways of marketing your business is giving them an informational offer rather than an incentive offer, because that's what people want now. They want information. Since the internet came up, we're actually asking for information rather than incentives to buy. So forget about the buy one, get one free, and if you're in retail, or if you're in a coffee shop, buy 5, get the 6th one free, right? They're all incentive offers, which is not what people want now. They want information. They want, they're trying to gather information. So if you're not focusing on helping them, helping your customers, your prospects go through your sales journey, and you're just trying to force them into buying from you, then you're going to be pushing them away. So that's the first secret. The second one, right, is you've got to target your customers well. Okay. Now, a lot of my clients that I get on board, the first thing I ask them is, who are they targeting, right? And they pretty much have a massive, big target base of what their actual target market is. So you've got to drill down. You've got to find out who your exact target market is. Now, I've got some great tools and resources that can help you find the right target market. Now, this might not be your ideal client or customer. There's two different things. Okay, so your ideal client and customer, right, is your ideal person, your A and your B grade customers. But when we're looking at marketing, okay, or getting your product and service out to the market, it's about targeting your customers. So there's a process that you need to go through, right, that really narrows down for your ideal target market. Now, what does that do? Well, then your next step is to get that compelling message, right, that's actually attracting or engaging your target market to take action. Okay, so second one is really trying to target your customers as well as possible. The third secret is focus on benefits, not features. This is where I started the presentation. You've got to look at the benefits of your product and service and actually market around that. Remember the 80%, 20% buying habits of people, right? You've got to look at the benefits. You've got to look at how your product and service is going to help that person in their day-to-day activities, or going to help them save money, save time, whatever it is. So I've got a little bit of an example here about insurance. Right? You don't sell a coverage amount or how much it is. You sell on the benefits of the peace and mind and security of having insurance. Because as you know, insurance is a cost to us, and we think to ourselves, well, we might have had car insurance, for the last 20 years, but never claimed on it. Is it a waste of time? Right? Is it a waste of money getting insurance? Well, the answer is no, because it gives them peace of mind that I've got car insurance back there. So as an insurance salesperson, that's what you should be actually focusing on when you're talking and you're having that compelling message to your customers. Right? You've got to look at the benefits, how it's going to help them in their day-to-day activities. Is it going to help them save money? Is it going to help them save time? Which is the two things that people are looking at. Okay, but also when you're looking at benefits, what people are looking for right now is two things: convenience and pretty much reliability or consistency. If you want to say convenience and consistency, that's what people are looking for, right? First in their mind when they're looking at buying a product and service now. So address those in your marketing, right, around the benefits of, giving them more convenience, right, and a consistent product going forward. The next one is generating referrals. Now, this is one of my best ways of marketing because it's actually a free marketing tool. When you're looking at referrals from, people that have already bought from you, right? It's proven that, people that have already bought from you are 6 more times likely to promote you as a business than people that haven't bought from you. So go back to your customers that have bought from you, especially now that we're going through this challenge where, you're going to break through, we're going to start opening businesses up again. Go back to your previous customers and start asking them for referrals. Ask them, who do you know that could benefit from my product and services that I'm offering? Okay. So, you've got to be very, very proactive, right? Don't be reactive to marketing. Don't expect that when you do a marketing campaign out there, it's going to bring people back, right? You've got to look at, okay, this person's bought from me before. They had a great experience, right? Who do they know? And what you'll find is they'll know 5 or 6 people that are in your target market avenue, right? That audience that you're looking for, they know. So go back to the people that have bought from you, put in a referral based campaign in there, whether it's an incentive offer or an information offer, right, in your referrals, right? So it's a win-win for the person that's going to refer you out there. Okay, I've got some postcards. I've just got some postcards printed up that I'm giving out to all my my clients, past, present, and my prospects as well, right, on who they know. So even my prospects that don't buy from me, I'm asking them, who do they know that could help with the product and services I've got? So, don't underestimate the power of trying to get referrals from the people that you know. Now, that could be family and friends as well. So don't, look at a family member and say, well, they might not be a good referral because you don't know who they know, especially if you're in a business-to-business scenario. They're meeting businesses on a day-to-day basis, right? If it's a business consumer, a product and service that you've got, well, they're meeting people on a day-to-day basis as well. Number 5, you got to give to get, right? So what do I mean by that? Well, there's an old saying, you can get what you want by helping enough people get what they want. Okay, this has been a main driver of mine for a long period of time. I've always tried to help people in business succeed, get to where they want to go. We look at their goals and their visions, and I try to help them get to their goals. And what happens is that it comes back twofold. Okay, so you've got to listen to your customers very, very closely, and you've got to deliver what they want. Okay, so just in this day and age right now, in the last pretty much 3 months, a lot of businesses have been struggling. It's a lot of uncertainty. Excuse me. So it's a matter of going out there and actually starting to help people as much as possible. So you need to give as much as possible to get back. So, number 6, you got to believe in your product and services. I put this one in because it's about February of this year. I got a new client on board. They had 8 salespeople or 7 salespeople plus himself out there doing the selling for the business. And he was the owner of the business, but he ran the sales side of it. So we interviewed his sales team to find out a couple of things. But what I found is that probably about 6 out of the 8, they didn't believe in what they were selling, okay, which was, unbelievable to me. Okay, because if you do not believe in your product and service, okay, how are you going to sell it to somebody else? How are you going to communicate it to the next person, okay, on on getting them on board. Now, it stemmed from what I call the head stinks from the head down. Okay, the business owner had some doubts about what his product and service was doing, and that just sort of flooded down to his sales team. Okay, so what you should be doing is you should be looking at your product and services, and if you do not believe that it can work or can help that person that you're trying to sell it to, it is not going to work. It comes as up from an unconscious level, right, on how you're going to communicate out there. So if you've got a team on board, right, you've got to make sure that they believe that what you're delivering as a business is going to help the person that's buying from it. Okay, so I mean, you've got to be very confident and show enthusiasm in what you're doing. Right, I know that my products and my services, what I deliver, works. Right now, I do get people come back and say, "Oh, your system doesn't work." Well, yep, I investigate a little bit further, and what I find is that the person hasn't implemented anything, right? They haven't followed the right process, or what I call the right ingredients and the right method to producing that result. So every time that somebody comes back and says, "Oh no, look, I don't. I've tried your online course, for instance. It didn't work for me." Then I investigate a little bit further, and 100% of the time, it's about the person not taking those action steps and actually implementing. That's where it comes back. So the 11th this number 6 of the 11 secrets is believe in your product and service. If you don't, then find a product and service that you do believe in and get rid of the ones that you don't. Look at your team as well, because you might find that they might have some doubts about what they're trying to sell or what they're trying to communicate out there, and that's coming through from a subconscious level. Number 7, you've got to focus on the lifetime value of a customer. Okay, so a lot of businesses that I see out there, they're looking for the quick sale. They're looking for the transaction, the sales right now. They're not looking at the long-term aspects of getting a customer on board. So I see I've got a client, and I went through this process. There is a process, there is a framework around this as well that I take my clients through, right, on how to build that relationship for a customer for a lifetime, pretty much value of that customer. Now, I had one of my clients come back and says, "Well, I've only got a product that I sell once. Once I sell that product, I never see that customer again." Okay, so I said to them, right, as always, you got to think outside the square, right? Once you say it's not going to work for me, right, at a subconscious level, it's not going to work for you. So when we started discussing a little bit further, and we found out, yes, you might have a one-off product that you sell to a customer, and it's a one-off. Once they buy it, they've gone. But if you look at the referral side of it, right, how much can that person, we've spoken about referrals before, right, how much money or monetary value is that person worth to you from a lifetime value if they're referring to you? Remember, as I said before, a person that's bought from you and that's happy is knows at least six people, and they're 100% more valuable to refer you to another person that they know, right, from a business. So, you know, from a lifetime value of a customer, if they buy from me once, right, I'm looking at a lifetime value of how many people they can refer to me, right, going forward. So that's only one pretty much strategy around lifetime value of a customer if they only buy from you once. But what if they're buying from you on a continual basis? Okay, are you going to go out there and actually, charge 100% of what it is when they might just buy your product and go? Or would you put a step-by-step process in there so you actually bring them on as a lifetime value customer of yours, which is always going to be referring someone to you right, on an ongoing basis. So think about, the lifetime value of customer. I mean, we've gone through, toilet paper has been a big issue in the media for a long period of time from the coronavirus, where people are hoarding custom toilet paper. When you think of a toilet paper manufacturer, what's a lifetime value of a customer buying toilet paper? Okay, so just think about that. Okay, we all need it, right? If you get a customer, it's a lifetime value on buying toilet paper. Now, it might be a way out thing out there, but if you look at your product and service and look at your customer, right? Do you have a lifetime value of that customer, and you're encouraging it through your relationship with that person? So number 8. Tell the customers what you want them to do. Okay, so this is a big one around pricing. I've found a lot of, especially my own experiences with buying products and services from people. Right, it becomes very complicated, especially now that we're taking a lot of our purchases are online. Okay, right. I struggle on how do I purchase that product? How do I pay for that product? Am I going to get it? I look at the risk factors of it as well. Okay, so if I'm buying online, right, are you eliminating all those risks that are going through my mind on buying stuff online? Even if you've got a bricks and mortar, or if you've got a service-based business, okay, right, you've got to tell your customers what you want them to do right from start to finish. Okay, so for me, one of my first processes that I give, I try to get the person face to face. Okay, so then I can ask them a question, or I can take them through a little bit of a health questionnaire, an audit questionnaire, so I can see if I can help that person, and see, more importantly, if they're a good client for me. Okay, do they fit into my target market? Do they fit into my ideal client? Okay, but what I do is I tell my customers what I want them to do. Yes, I want them to book a call with me. Right. Once they get on a call, then I tell them, before they get on the call, I send out an audit questionnaire. I want that questionnaire back to me so I can sort of evaluate it before we get on the call. So I actually telling the customers my process. Okay. So, you've got to tell your customers what you want them to do, right, as part of your business, right? So, if you're in a for instance, I've got a client, or as I said, I've just bought a florist company, which is an online. I'm going to take it online. It's not at the moment; it's a bricks and mortar, but I'm building an online presence. Okay, and I'm building a whole sales funnel, or a sales process, of what I want a person to do when they first interact with me. Right, I want them to get some information out there. Right, pick the products, buy the products, and then start getting into that little bit of what I call a fan-based, right? So they become a fan of mine, where I can give them information that they can start passing out and being an advocate for me. So, you need to be telling your customers what you want them to do. If it's a step-by-step 6-part process, okay, well then you need to take them through that, and sort of, sometimes you've got to hold their hand as well. Right? Sometimes, people just don't know the next step. So you take them to step 1, then you take them to step 2, step 3, rather than telling them all the steps right from day 1. This is where a drip campaign comes in very, very important. If you've got a long process that you take people through of what you want them to do from when they first meet you to that end of transaction, well then, get a little bit of a drip campaign where you're feeding them information on a step-by-step process. Guys, I've got processes and tools and resources. So, if you do struggling with any of these processes, reach out. I can help you along that. I've also got some free business advisory sessions available in the next couple of weeks. So I've got a link coming up for those as well, so we can discuss any of those challenges you might have. So number 9, make it easy for customers to do business with you. Right. This is a little bit of a step from the last one on how you want your customers to go through your process. You need to tell them what you want them to do. This is, you need to make it easy for them. Okay, especially if you've got an online product and service. Okay, if it becomes complicated, people will log off. Right? If they come and they're interacting with you and it's not easy for them to do business with you, okay, then they will lose interest and they'll go and find somebody. So, you've got to try and keep it simple. All right. Your customer is not going to work for you. You need to be working for them. Okay. So, you need to be making it easy. If you're taking payments online, make it easy. Okay. If it's a credit card process, then have it a secured credit card processing platform in there, right, where they just log in, put their details in, and it's done. Okay, they don't have to go through. If you're doing it, I saw one of my clients a couple of weeks ago. He was doing a little bit of a marketing campaign. I had a look at it, right, and he was asking question after question after question after question, trying to get a database together. Okay, I said, you're going to lose your customers, right? It's not easy for them to navigate through that process to the end result. So, all you need for your database is your name, email, and mobile. That's it. That's all you need to ask. You don't need to ask their addresses or anything like that. So he said, oh, yeah, look, I understand that. So he took all that out there and he found that, through his marketing campaign to get that database, it made it a lot easier, right, for people to do that process. And at the end, he had a lead magnet that downloaded, right? And once he changed that process, he had a lot more people on his database, right, opting in and downloading it because of that process was a lot simpler. So look at your process of your sales, right? As you're taking people through your sales process, right? Is it easy for them to do business with you, right? Or is there some obstacles there? Is there some brick walls that it's hard for them to get over? So just have a look at that, right? Put yourself in your customer's shoes, right? Go through that process as a customer and see if there's any sort of roadblocks that you find is hard. Eliminate them as best as possible. Number 10, you might have heard this before. What's in it for me? Okay, so from a customer's point of view, this is what they're after all the time. They want to know what's in it for them to do business with you, what's in it for them if you're doing a marketing campaign and you're, as I said before, trying to get a database together, what's in it for them, okay, to give you their information. So I've got here, if there's no perceived or actual value, need, or benefit to buy, why should or would they buy your product and services? So think about that. If there's no perceived or actual value to doing business with you, why would they do business with you? So look at your product and services. Look at how you're doing business. Okay, is it really benefiting your customers, your prospects in taking the next step? Okay, so start tuning into it. What's in it for me as a customer to purchasing your product and your service. Number 11. All right. This is one of my most important ones that I try and get people in business to do. You need to have fun. Okay, if you're not having fun in business, then stop doing business and go and work for somebody else. Because I find that, if you're not having fun, the frustrations, the challenges, the stress are all going to accumulate out there. Okay, so, if you're not having fun in business, then find a way of having fun. Okay, there's, I'm now getting into a lot of social media, which a lot of people are asking me, how do I do social media? How do I interact with people? Right, I've got a 4-part process. So if you've followed me for a little while, you know that everything that I do, whether I'm doing a marketing campaign, getting my clients to do marketing, or talking to customers, if it's a networking event and they're doing marketing and networking or a print advertising, they need to follow 4 steps, which is interrupt, engage, educate, and offer. Okay, so what I'm trying people to do is, people are asking now on social media, how do I interact? How do I engage? How do I, sort of get some engagement from the people on social media. Right now, what I'm saying is you need to become from a point of having fun on social media. So there's two ways of actually getting interaction on social media. This is a whole nother presentation, so I might run that in the next couple of weeks. But there's two ways of getting interaction on social media. So if we talk about Facebook page in particular, how do you get engagement? You've got to be two things, right? What people are looking for are entertainment and education. So when you're doing your posts, when you're doing your marketing campaigns, when you're doing your boosts of your posts or anything, look at those two things. If you're a little bit of entertaining in there, right, and you've got some education, then you're more likely to get a lot more engagement in that post or that marketing campaign. So think about that, right? I've got a good tool that I follow when I do my posts, especially around my marketing campaigns, when I do a lot of Facebook ads. Okay, I follow a process, right, and it does take the education into it, but it has a little bit of entertainment in there as well, because I want to get those two aspects of it. Okay, so if you've got to try and find how you have fun in your business. If you don't do a lot of video marketing, right, then start getting into some video marketing, right? So if we're looking at entertainment or education around a video, show them how your process of what you do and how you help people, right, with your product and services. That entertainment side of it is the video. You might be showing them around your factory, for instance. We've just done a video sales process or campaign for one of my clients, okay, and we got a video photographer in to actually film around the workshop, the manufacturing plus the operation of the workshop as well, and we showed them right from start to finish on how the factory and the workshop worked, and that's becoming a sales video for them. So a little bit of education in there. They're seeing how things are happening in the back of house, but there's a little bit of entertainment in there as well, where the person talking in there. They talk to a few of their team members on how they like working with the business as well, or working for the business. So guys, try and look at having some fun in your business, and that will portray out there. So pretty much they're the 11 secrets that they've got. As I said before, I've got I'm a business advisor for the business station here in Perth, Western Australia. So I do have some funding that I can help people with a 1-2 hour strategic advisory session. Now this can be a coaching session if you want. If you want a coaching session, I can make a coaching session, but it's more about strategic advisory. So you guys come with a little bit of a strategic plan, right, on how you want to run that meeting. You might have some challenges, you might have some questions, you might just need some tools and resources to really get that to get you to the next level more than anything. So, get an agenda together, book on a call, come and see me or talk. We do a lot by Zoom now, because a few people, because of the coronavirus, don't come and see me, but I do a lot of local people face to face. If you're outside the local area, or you're nationally or overseas and you still want to book a call, right, hop on to my coaching business call right there. I will put these links in the replay as well, so you can just click on those and actually book a call. If you want some more information, then there's a landing page there as well. So next week's topic is the 5 steps, or my 5 steps of profit, or my profit formula for doubling your profits. So it's a proven formula that I use with my clients on a day-to-day basis. I'm going to share that with you. it is all around my e-learning system as well. So there's a bonus in there that if you do get on next week's call, you book a call, you'll get 30-day free access to my e-learning system, which is valued at between $397 and $697, depends on, there's a little bit of coaching involved there as well, one-on-one coaching. So guys, that's pretty much this week's coaching session over and done with. So is there any questions at this stage? Just pop it into the chat box and I'll have a look. Okay, so yep, Benjamin's asking about the 11, okay, so he's asking about the 11 steps, right? Yes, there is going to be a replay of this. Okay, I will send you through the link, so you will get a replay of the PowerPoint presentations, but I can put the slides in there as well if you want the slides, but I think I'll probably just put this presentation up there, so as a recording, and you can have a look at that and just Benjamin, you can stop it at any stage and get your head behind those. So Helen's saying thank you. Yes, very valuable. It's 1 o'clock your time. So yeah, thanks for staying up and having a look at this. So yeah, I will send you through the replay for that. Yeah, a lot of thank yous for that. Okay. All right, guys. Well, look, I'll leave it there. Thanks for joining me. Look, I've got down there. It's a bit of a bonus time, so there's access to my online marketing coaching program for 90 days, which is valued at $900, completely free. If you're interested in that, flick me an email, paul@paulduncan.com.au, and just put in the comment box. Free online marketing coaching program, and I'll send you through the link to sign up on that, and you can have it for 90 days just as a thank you for joining me today. So there's always a bonus that I put at the end of these videos. So guys, thanks for joining me today. If you've got any questions, feel free to reach out. Please book a call with me if you're struggling out there, or if you've got some challenges, you need some help. As I said there, I've got those advisory sessions happening, for a little while longer now. I think they'll last until the end of June, early July, hopefully, and the funding will stop, but I've just applied for some more funding now, so hopefully that will come through because of the coronavirus. But look, join me next week, and we can talk about the 5 proven steps to double your income. So guys, thanks for joining me, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Take care and have a fantastic week.